Hello, 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 hello. How are you all doing today? On this very relaxing day. Back with some more Minecraft. It's been one hell of a day. I know last time we did some creative test world stuff. With my greenhouse. Last time we played Minecraft. Um, but it's nice to be back. I hope everyone's doing well today. Make sure I unmute myself. Just double checking because you never know. I do hope everyone's having a good day today. So, anything interesting for you guys? Frick. Yeah, it's a lot later than I normally start. Which is weird for me, but I have my reason. Gosh, when was the last time we were in this world? Last year, technically? It's been a while. Don't remember why. Don't remember how. Hmm. Oh yeah, the tree area. Hmm. Okay, so it is daytime. It's nice to finally just relax a little. I expect some lag loading up some, like, new chunks, because that happens all the time. But it is nice to just be able to kind of chill. Enjoy the, nice music. Oh, clay. It's actually one of the things I did want. And boop. I know overall, though, it just kind of depends on what's gonna happen next, but... Oh shit, I'm gonna drown. But I do got a plan. So, of course, we still have to finish the house. We still have a few other things we need to finish. I know I want to fight the Ender Dragon, and I want to do some crazy survival builds. I know the only reason I don't do hardcore is because I am horrible at not dying. I couldn't. I have not beaten this game hardcore yet, and that would be a nightmare. Don't take my clay, you little shit. Little fucker stole my clay. Okay. Ooh, I got a copper ingot. Of all the drowned I've killed, I don't know. I think that's the first one I've killed. I don't know for sure. And if so, the fact I got a copper ingot's pretty lucky. Yeah, sometimes you're just lucky, I guess. But I have thought about it. Um, I'm not very knowledgeable on how to make it, but I could make a raid farm since we have an ocean and a pillager outpost so close to each other. Wouldn't be hard. I just need to figure it out. Where do I want to put clay? I just need to remember where I put everything. Copper goes here. Dirt. Well, there's nothing in here, so I'll put clay in here for now. And mob drops. Um, We're still in iron armor as well. There's the nether. We need more bookshelves. Hmm. Now comes the real debate. Okay, time to breed cows, because I remember us having cows. We also have a lot of sheep. More sheep than I probably will ever need. But that's alright. I do hope to get a few more things done. I know something I need to start doing is, even though it feels weird to do it, I need to start adding everyone um, in the Discord. Oh, I need more. Oh wait, I have an extra stack. Never mind. Gosh, I am everywhere today. I know I still need to add everyone when it comes to streaming. I just don't think about it, or when I do think about it, I'm like, but I don't want to be rude. But it's also like, wait, I'm the owner. The constant struggles of being super awkward. Okay, so we have. I mean, I could start the other side, or I could go down this side. I don't remember how long this is, but what's the worst that happens? I die again. I mean, not too bad, right? But in all seriousness, I just find it kind of crazy. Um, Dang, we actually dug this hole quite a while. Well, not the worst thing in the world. Okay, let's see. I know it's more strip mining, but it's a good time to just kind of chill and talk about things. Um, in other news, the motherboard came in. Um, I also got a few things coming in now as well. Oh my god, why did I just get a lag spike? But as I was saying, the only thing I need to work on now is figuring out a power supply because I already got the other stuff ordered. I know I could technically get more memory, but I got really like I got some okay memory to start out with. Like I can always change it out. That's not a problem. It just takes some time and effort. Plus, it's better than going overly expensive right now. Woo. I know one thing I want to work on is when I get that power supply, I am going to build the computer for sure. But I do have some plans on some games I want to play as soon as I get that built to see how they work in terms of streaming. So we might just have a test stream type thing because, yeah. Or I might just use Discord because that always takes more. I know I've been meaning to look at like other things other than Chrome to like have in the backgrounds for streams if we ever were to put music in the background, and I haven't taken enough time to do it because I haven't had much time. It's weird because I spend a lot of time doing all sorts of different things, and then the little free time I do get I spend on trying to relax. It's weird, but 'tis life. I know yeah, I just am trying to relax and chill. I know I wish I could do more in terms of streaming right now. I really do. And I do want to make more people happy. It's just weird. I know, with the new year, I kind of just staying a bit calmer. Just chilling. I don't know who's made resolutions and who hasn't, but yeah, that's one of the things I've done is with resolutions I've made. Um, I've kind of made a resolution to just keep trying and keep pushing so that it can become better. I know that, like, it's weird, but I've been trying my best with, like, college stuff in the background. And I don't know who here has dealt with college and stuff, but boy, can it be a nightmare, especially when you have ADHD, because it can drive you insane. It's one of the hardest things for me, especially because I'll be working on it repeatedly, just pushing myself till an extent where I burn the candlestick at both ends just to try and pass a class. And it's not that I don't even understand some of the stuff. That's the crazy part. It's not that I don't understand it. It's just for some reason my brain can't fully wrap my head around everything that's talked about. Like I understand a lot of the stuff to extents, but when it comes to actual stuff, it's just really difficult to wrap my head around certain things and like keep myself focused in general on doing it because there's so much at one time and I'm burning myself out to such an extent that it's like, oh, great. But that's kind of something that a lot of people, like I've talked to, have had an issue with in college. But it's not normal either. Like the people I've talked to are other people with similar issues anyway, but I've talked to people without it who don't have the issue. And I'm just like, hell, I've talked to people with ADHD who haven't had the issue. And I don't know if it's just me or what at times. Because it's like, I know other people struggle with it, but it's like, still sucks because it's that constant looming thing of, great, I'm trying this hard and nothing's coming of it. Like, that's one of those things that's always, like, really demoralizing in life. Is just when you're trying so hard and nothing comes of it. It's like, it just feels like you're going nowhere when you do that, and it's difficult. I know that in other things, it's just like, who knows? But yeah, it's a very annoying thing when you have to deal with it repeatedly. And then, of course, then you have to deal with the whole thing of like, God dang it, if I fail this, God, that's a lot of money just down the drain. Because college is really fucking expensive nowadays. It's like, yikes. Being a college student sucks. It's just weird. Because I know, like, in terms of stuff, I remember when had my first semester, I got COVID really bad. And it sucked. Like, getting COVID to an extent, like, really sucked. when I was in college because it knocked me out completely to an extent where I was just really tired. I could not do much. Couldn't taste anything. I can't even eat. I used to love chicken pot pie, but ever since COVID, I just can't stand it because all I can feel is the texture, and it's really disgusting. It just feels so gelatinous in your mouth and so weird. I think that's the best way to explain it. Like a gelatinous ooze. It's super weird. Dang, we are not getting that lucky. Um, I know one thing that I really do, I've thought about playing on stream is Oxygen Not Included. But I know very well that the freaking dupes are gonna do something really dumb. And when push comes to shove, one of them is going to end up killing themselves. It happens more often than people may want to realize. Ooh, diamonds! But I think that's one of the things I really get annoyed about with that game is how often I've seen a dupe trap themselves and basically end themselves. I've seen them get their heads stuck in things. I've seen so many things. It's really annoying. I've seen them drown, I've seen them free. I haven't seen them freeze actually. I've seen them drowned, I've seen them suffocate. I haven't seen them freeze. I've seen them freaking overheat um due to volcanoes because certain dumbass moments. I know. What a surprise. Like each time I play it, and I haven't played in a long while now, but each time I've played it, I've thought of a new way to go about things. And one idea I've kind of had is like setting up when I set up Atmos suits, basically making it so they have to use Atmos suits to go around the base so I can worry more about one specific area. Like that's something I've really thought about at this point because of how many times I have watched them do dumb shit. The issue is the area needs to have a lot of specific stuff in it, which comes at a cost. Then you got all the electric stuff, etc. It's crazy. I know, yeah, I've tried all sorts of different things with that game. I still don't fully understand it. I don't think I've ever launched a space in it either. Like, there's a certain extent where my knowledge goes, and space is past that. Because I know about I know about the multi-world transfer. I know about the fossils. I understand decor, but I don't understand space travel. Which is weird because I figured out like how to make like relatively reusable oxygen type stuff, and it's kind of crazy. Heck, I've even figured out how to make infinite gas storage, which is crazy. I mean, same thing for water as well, which, as have mentioned before, is crazy. It's like really weird too because if one germ gets in there, you're screwed. Like, I know there's certain things that it doesn't matter as much, but I still worry about. Like, I know one thing I want to do is when I get, like, specific things, when I. It's weird. Germ water is, like, one of those things that I want to, like, specifically avoid in that game, if possible. Because if a dupe gets sick, it just causes them to work at lesser rates, etc. The worst one is the zombie spore, at least from my experience. It's rarer, but it sucks. I know that you're also supposed to stay to the likes of your dupes if you want to keep them stress free relatively. Um, it's one of those things of just, yeah, can only do so much. But it helps. I know that I try to get their athletics up and stuff similar so that, like, they're faster, they aren't as slowed by Atmos suits, etc. Because they need to wear Atmos suits if they want to survive. That's one of the important things with them is those Atmos suits save their asses so often because they can resist a lot of things. Oh, hello 21. Welcome to the stream. How are you doing today? Oh, frickin' bonked my mic on accident. I always do that. Like, because I have a mic on my headset, I always end. Ever since I got this, I always end up accidentally bonking the mic. So it's just bonk. Doing fine here. Well, it's good to know. It's a nice day at least. It's always nice to have a good day. I know, yeah, as you. Okay, man, I've just been talking about Oxygen Not Included. It's one of those games that I want to play on stream. It's just I can't stream it on this laptop. So until I get my full PC done and can see how well it works with streaming, like if I do stream it, it'd be one of those things where I name different people in the stream after the dupes whenever I get new dupes, which would not happen as much as people may think because too many dupes at once is going to drain everything. It's I think one of the most dangerous dupe traits, if not the most dangerous, is binge eater because if they get stressed, they will just eat all of your food, which will cause stress over more of the colony because they're starving, which is not fun. Like, I found debatably ethical, not actually ethical, ways of making food in the game, but even then, it's like, ooh boy. Yeah, you want to avoid binge eating um, in that game because I've lost multiple colonies to binge eating. It's insanely deadly because of like stress, and that's one of the most dangerous. Oh my god, that scared me for a sec there. Okay. I am like so nervous going across lava. I mean, I really do love the game, though. It's definitely one of those games that, like, you can play and enjoy, but God, can you get absolutely fucked over. Okay, nothing there. Might be something over there. Might be something over that way. Anyways, back to the grind. I've gotten 12 diamonds so far. Yeah, I'm just kind of strip mining and just chatting, chilling a bit. Um, but yeah, one of the things I did mention before you got here is my motherboard finally came in and I got the RAM ordered. Um, it's not a ton of RAM, but like it's not anything crazy, but it's still enough that will suffice and should run really well. Um, I believe. Oh my God, what exactly? I'd need to pull up the order again, but um, yeah. All I need now is to just get the power supply, and I'm literally just waiting to get the money for that at this point. Which, who knows how long that'll take. Plus, if there is deals on it, I'm gonna get it, or if I can get lucky. I kind of keep my eye out here and there because, yeah, because I'm trying to make at least a decent like gaming PC for not spending like thousands upon thousands of dollars. Yeah, it's literally just down to like great, because the power supply is one of the more expensive things usually. Questioning is why the Bedrock Wither is stronger than Java Wither. You know, that actually can be explained by multiple possibilities. Um Mainly because in Bedrock, a lot of the movements work a little bit differently than Java, and they're a little less precise, which honestly I think they should fix. But also the Wither has a few buffs to it. The Wither effect is a bit fast, just a smidge bit faster from what I've experienced. And I don't know how true that is, but I feel like it's faster in Bedrock. Huh. But it feels faster in Bedrock. Like, a lot faster. I know, in Bedrock it just feels faster. Like, the Wither also seems to deal more damage, but I could also be crazy. One second, I'm going to blow my nose. I'm gonna mute up real quick. I honestly think that it's kind of crazy that people consider the Elder Guardian a boss mob when in reality it doesn't even have a boss bar. It's just a mob with a lot of health. The Warden could be considered a boss mob at that point, but it's not a boss mob. It's literally a mob that's not meant to be killed, aka not a boss. But yeah, the Wither, I definitely like. I I can think of some reasons why it's stronger on Bedrock, but I don't know the exact reasons. Though it does make me think of some things I really do wish they had in like Java Minecraft that they have in Bedrock. Like Bedrock gets so many cool things. Like it doesn't take a genius to look at it and be like, "Damn, they get that?" And in reality, they do get a lot. Like they get waterlogged doors, which not a lot of people want, but I find it really cool because there's a lot of stuff you can do with waterlogged doors, like just in general. But there's also stuff like just think about like all the possibilities with like potions and cauldrons, being able to dye the water in cauldrons. Like that type of stuff is really cool. Have you seen the Warden's old design? Oh yeah, the Warden's old design is really freaking cool. But I can see why they didn't use that design, seeing that it was a bit gory in its own regard. Like something I noticed a lot of people who love Minecraft forget about when they ask for updates is this is a children's game. It's the same thing with Pokemon, like they're children's games. The reason they feel easier now is a mixture of improvements to certain things, like glitches, etc., being fixed, but also because you gotten older and you understand more. Like, that's part of the reason certain things feel a lot easier nowadays. Like, in reality, Pokemon hasn't gotten any easier unless you count, like, glitches being fixed. Just gotten older, learned more. But, like, with a lot of the designs, especially, I think it's really cool looking at old designs of different things in games. Like, the Warden is a really good example of, like, an old design that got changed for very good reason. And there's one design I always think about, and it's the frickin' Golbat design of the wow with its tongue like just swinging out. The thick Blastoise. Like I think of a lot of the old stuff too from like Final Fantasy. Like there's a lot of old designs that have changed that are just like nice because they really do look cool in their own regards. Cobble, there's Deep Slate. Um, where'd I put gravel? There's gravel. Where'd I put tough? There's tough. I remember redstone being here. Diamonds, lapis, and then these. It's also nighttime. Sick. But yeah, like there's a lot of stuff from like old designs that you wouldn't expect look as gruesome or as like crazy as they do now, and it makes you really think on a lot of the stuff in general because it's just like we could have had that, but like as someone who kind of understands a bit about like how that type of stuff works is like it's a kids game. As much as some people want gruesome stuff like oh my god, adult stuff, it's a kids game. Like that's one of the main things you got to remember with the game that I see a lot of people forget when they talk about Minecraft. Like, I've seen it more than once to an extent where it's kind of like, dude, really? Um, but yeah, it's interesting because you look at it and you're just like, that is horrifying. Because, like, old designs can look absolutely horrific in their own regard. Like, there's so many examples of that in, like, history. Like, I know, one example of like designs changing is like Kratos. Like I know some people prefer the old Kratos. I personally prefer the new look of Kratos. I like the beard. I think it suits him a lot better having a full beard. Like, yeah. I mean, look at some of the Digimon designs. Yeah, the Digimon designs on the other hand, that's a whole nother can of worms. I think the best way to describe Digimon designs are gun. Just gun. I think that's a really good way to just explain Digimon designs. Is just, is there gun? No? Add gun. Or insert weapon. Like, that's something I've noticed a bit about a lot of the Digimon designs is, yes, gun. Which, honestly, is more annoying, if anything, to me. It's just like, get some better. Like, that's one of the reasons I prefer Pokemon designs, is they just feel a lot more inspired, I guess is the word I could use for it. But even then, there's always those few. But then again, that just happens when you make loads of mon, loads of things. There's always gonna be those ones that just really don't look the best. And that's alright too. Like that's just part of it. You're always gonna have good designs and bad designs. That's just part of the whole process. I say we go on an adventure. But those designs can be such an important thing, especially actually before we leave. There we go. Yeah, I just want to make sure we have our chords. But like, you look at a lot of the stuff now, and you realize that a lot of the things aren't the same as when we were kids, but holy shit, are some of the things just very repetitive. I should have grabbed a boat. But... eh. Turtle! I found a turtle! Okay, this is already a success. We found turtle. Hi, turtle. Hi, turtle. Turtle. Sorry. I like turtles. I think they were such a cute add-on to Minecraft. Like, they definitely have their dark moments. Like, if a turtle dies to lightning, there is a good chance it will drop a wooden bowl and okay. The one direction I hadn't searched in had the village because when there's a pillager outpost, fun fact, there's always some sort of village within like 500 blocks, I believe the average amount is, of the actual pillager outpost. I believe that's the max it can be, which is really cool because it basically will because they always spawn in that type of way, but it's good to know we have a village so close like this. Even, it's kind of like an island village too. Ooh, cauldrons. Chest. Bread! And saddles. We can get a horse! A horse, of course. Of course, a horse. Honestly, I am so glad they updated villages. But did you hear what, one of the things, speaking of turtles, there's a lot of turtle Digimon. I've heard there is, I don't know for sure. It's been, God, how many years since I played Digimon for the, in, like, last? It's been too long for me to know exacts. Oof. What is with these villagers in this village giving me lag? It could just be me loading in all these new chunks as well, but that's besides the point. But like there are just some Digimon and stuff that I just don't remember all like trying to remember every Digimon is hard, much less every Pokemon. Yet I'm one of those people who can look at a Pokemon design and just be like, "Oh, it's so and so." And I'm just like, "Why do I remember that?" But when it comes to Digimon, I just get floored. And it could just be because I am not someone who plays every Digimon game. Plus, I don't remember the last time a Digimon game came out. But it's also kind of a thing of a lot of the Pokemon designs are a lot more unique and easier to like guess, especially because they don't they don't feel as drastic of changes all the time. Like there's some examples of drastic changes for like Pokemon. I'm not gonna lie, like Octillery to Remoraid. It makes sense when it comes to their concepts. Well, I mean, yeah, Pokemon has a lot less, but like I can still name a lot of the Pokemon off my head just purely because I think a lot more Pokemon are memorable than Digimon, especially. Surely because a lot of the Digimon end up having just some sort of weapon on them, and it just, and even then, being a little less, also being less popular, etc., just kind of really lowers it down. But also, gosh, the last game that came out for Digimon, I don't remember when the last Digimon game came out. Because a lot of the, it's weird, and it's one of those things of, honestly, will they release another one anytime soon? Maybe. Will it end well? Who the hell knows? Alls I know for sure is that the game has its flaws, like every game. And I think even though there's so much more than Pokemon, I think part of the memorability issue is also the lack of knowledge of the game for a lot of people as well. And also because of how drastic and how difficult it is to remember each evolutionary line already, that it already gets annoying. Like, I think that's definitely one of those things where it's like part of the designs are the issue as well. Like, I mean, since Generation 4 of Pokemon, there's always been a Furry Baitmon. There's always been a Pika clone since Gen 2, like, if you count Pichu. But there's always, like, those sets of, like, Pokemon, like pseudo legendaries, etc., like setting out certain things into sets. But with Digimon, there's not much of that, and not as big of a community around it either. Nice. Sunken ship. And I think that's one of its biggest downfalls. 2 years ago, surviving Digimon games. Yeah, I don't remember when that. I don't remember that, to be honest. It's one of those games where I honestly don't remember it. It's like, there's some games I remember wholeheartedly, like, but others that I just have so much more trouble remembering. Uh oh. You can tell there's lag already. If I die, just tell my children I love them. Wait a minute, I could just build up with hay bales. Like, there's definitely some lag going on here. Like, and it's obvious, but dang. You know, this is the one time I wish I did have an axe. Whoa, that was a huge lag spike. Oh, the lag's been going for a while on your end? Weird. Yeah, like, I noticed the lag, surely from small things, but yeah, and I think part of it is loading all the new chunks as well. I think that's one of the biggest issues. Like, loading a bunch of new chunks, especially. Because, like, even then, like, I've noticed lag on my side when, like, loading these new chunks. And I think that's one of the biggest issues with exploring. Because, like, I want to explore, I want to do more stuff. But it's also, like, a very laggy process at the same time. And it's like, it's not like something I can fix easily either. Because of the fact that it's literally something I can't do much about. Which sucks, because I want to do something about it. I just don't have the resources to. Because I don't have a better computer right now and a bunch of other stuff, and it just sucks. Because I want to have a better experience for people. Though I still think it's funny when people are like, oh, Minecraft can't be that intensive for a computer. Yeah, no, Minecraft is surprisingly intensive for computers. Oh wow, 3D block game. Go brrr. But yeah, I don't like that's one of the things I really dislike about this laptop is even if there's just a bit of lag, gun go burr. Yeah, that's basically Digimon. Ooh, bamboo, coal. Okay, we got this. Ah! Oh, thank God. But yeah, we could try and go search for this buried treasure. So we need to go this way. More this way. I'm trying to figure this out. And do we need to go backwards? We'll find out. And if not backwards, we need to go forwards. Yeah, this is one of the hard parts, is figuring out the exacts. Also, there's totally a ruin there. I can't tell if that's, like, getting bigger or smaller, and it's difficult. Yeah, because, like, I'm seeing the lag myself, especially when, like, we're moving. Oh, yeah, it's getting bigger. We're going in the right direction. God, even I hate the lag. Like, it is something I want to fix, like, so bad for you guys. That's a random chicken. But hopefully... Birch! New tree type! Oh, it's a miracle. Okay, so this is one of those things where we're gonna have to journey a bit. Okay. More pumpkins. I just need a sapling. Yeah, like, I want to fix this lag so bad. And I know that getting a non-laptop computer is gonna help. But sadly, it is not so simple. My hope, though, is that when I get the PC, like, up and running, that will help quite a bit. Since it will have a lot better of a video card and graphics. It'll be able to handle more as well, which I think will be a huge improvement. I want to get at least 2 saplings, preferably. Because I know that, like, having another building block is one of the most useful things. Because sometimes having extra building block types can really save your ass. And boop. There we go. I got 2. Oh, there's a zombie. Okay, let's see. Doop a doop 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 a doop doop. Not ominous at all. Just a normal, totally not scary little island. You know, I would have preferred to spawn over here and all. Mainly because there's a lot more, like, variety. But then again, we also did have a village at our other thing, so. Sup, you creepy bastard. Ouch. Okay. So this is gonna be like over here at the tip. Sorry, that's childish. But then again, when do I ever care? I mean, at least we're getting treasure from this. So if I remember correctly, it should be at the 5 coordinate. So it should be right here. Ouch. Ouch. So it should be like right around here, if I remember correctly, by the old way. I don't know if they still spawn the same way or not, but if they do, then we're golden. I'm wrong, I'm wrong, I'm wrong. Or I just got the math thing wrong. Either way. I could, like, look out for, like, a specific, like, spot that seems oddly, like, out of place, but even then, here's what I'm gonna do. Badoop, 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 badoop. I wish I had a shovel right now, so bad. Wait, I have birch logs. I'm an idiot. This just in. Streamer is an idiot? Huh? I know. Crazy. But also, we can have a chest boat now. Ah. I'm actually excited about the chest boats. Because it just means we get to carry more. If you need me, I will be on the other side of mining this away. Yeah, this is gonna be a really boring mine, but oh, fancy. But it's gonna be worth it. Buried treasure usually has That was a reaction I did not expect to make. Anyways. So. Oh boy. I am a mess. Messy streamer. Okay, let's see. Oh, and part of my thing falls again. Like, there's definitely a treasure chest here. I just need to find it. But yeah, like, I do find Digimon to be an interesting series in its own way. But it definitely doesn't have a lot of memorable designs to an extent past furry bait. Like, let's be honest, most people know who Ranamon is. I mean, and if you don't, well, Rule 34 is another thing. Hoo boy. You know, like, if furries weren't known as a thing, let's be honest with ourselves. They would still exist without a name. Because let's be honest, most people found Lola Bunny hot, and or a lot of other characters that were anthropomorphic. Plus, who doesn't like anthropomorphic animals? They can be some of the coolest things. Like, in all reality. Like, and that's not just me capping or anything, it's just me saying the sad truth of, like it or not, there's a good chance most humans are just innately furry in some form, and they don't want to accept it. Like, something I found about a lot of furry haters that I find hilarious is they always end up becoming a furry. A lot of anti furries, by a lot, I mean almost all of them, end up becoming a furry. And it's one of the funniest things to me because it's like, how the tables have turned, haven't they? Because it's such a specifically funny thing to me. Because, like, oh, found it. Hell yeah. Ooh, baby. Emeralds, iron, TNT, prismarine, water breathing, some fish, a heart of the sea, and gold. Don't ask why I'm breaking this with a sword. Don't question me. I'm weird. Even I don't understand why I was doing it. I'll take the crafting table too. You know, one of my classmates says that furries are gay people and deserve the death penalty. Honestly, it's so funnily ironic when people say that because it's like most of the time they end up becoming furries. But also it's like if all furries were to die, the whole world would shut down because literally one of the one of if not like one of the people who created the vaccine for the coronavirus is a furry. I know her. I have talked with her over Twitter before, like long while back now, but it's like she's one of the nicest people you'd ever meet. Like, and even then the IT industry. Like, I think one of the things I saw was a picture of a bunch of furries on a plane, and someone replied, "I'm not a furry hater or anything, but I hate this being a plane because if it crashes, it's gonna cripple the IT industry." Because it will. A lot of furries are smarter than you would think. Like, I think that's one of the funniest things to me is one moment you got a furry that's like, "Ooh woo, I'm such a cute dog," while they're in like fursuit, and then the next they're like, "Oh yeah, turns out they're just like a freaking like they work with like radioactive materials and stuff, and in reality they're like a nuclear engineer." Like it's and it's weird because I get people hate on it, but like honestly, if people are using it as an escapism, it's a way healthier escapism than drinking or doing tons and tons and tons of drugs. Because at least furry doesn't kill ya. That's one of the things I think about. Plus, the community is pretty nice. Just in general. But like all communities, there's always the loud minorities that are either assholes or really creepy in their own ways, or sexual things that shouldn't be. Like, that's just every community. Like, it's not just a furry thing, it's not just a weeb thing, it's a thing that's in every community, no matter what we want to say about it. Um, so I need to go. Where am I? If I go backwards, I'm so confused. Okay, so I need to go this way instead. God, I am all turned around and everything. Like, it's actually really interesting when you look at some of that stuff. And yeah, I can feel the lag myself when we are moving all these chunks at once. Don't worry, it's not just you. But it's kind of crazy when you look at it and you realize that most of our world is run by furries. And in all reality, if they were to just vanish from the world, if furries were just to vanish, it would cripple us. And that is a terrifying thought. Like, in all reality, though, like, it's still interesting to kind of look at some of the stuff, too. Because looking at, like, statistics from, like, control groups, like, it's not even 100% either, but, like, with the group amounts, etc., like, there's a surprising amount of, like, reasons that people feel safer in your community, too. Like, not just for furries, but just in general. Especially because we're social animals. And it's one of those things of that mainly because is part of us as a species, surely because our own just natural instincts as social creatures. And it's interesting because you look at it and you just think to yourself now, dang, there is a lot we don't fully understand. Because there's a lot of stuff about us as people that just are different. And I think it's a really interesting thing to look at because as people, we have a lot more in common than we think, but people just don't want to accept that. Like, and that's a common issue in just the world as a whole because people just don't like accepting things that are weird to them. But in reality, it isn't weird, it isn't unnatural, it's just part of life. Nothing is perfect. No one is perfect. And it doesn't make anyone less human. Everyone has the exact same right to exist as the person next to them. Even if they aren't a good person, doesn't mean they're right. Like, and that's one of the most important things is understanding the difference between that. Like, as someone who has felt my fair share of struggle just for existing as myself, it sucks. It really fucking does. But there's also a lot of good out there too if you look for it. There are good people in this world. There is not a lot of that anymore in a lot of places that need it, but it still exists. And you just need to look for it. And it is one of the fucking hardest things to keep pushing at yourself, to keep going, to keep moving. I have spent years of my life trying to accept myself for me, and even then I still have trouble at times. And that's one of the saddest things is that is an issue that a lot of people face. When in reality, we're all people. We all are we all have emotions, feelings, we all feel things. We all understand, we all feel, we all have emotion. We have connections, we have so many more things that make us the same than different. And that's such an important thing to remember, especially nowadays, is We are all more alike than we are different. And if we separate ourselves only by differences and don't learn to accept that there is differences between everyone, but we're all more alike, it's this world's not going to change because some people don't want to change. People need to choose to change themselves, and some people don't want to do that. Some people rather live behind a religion, be it whatever, and place fear onto others, all because of something they don't want to understand. I've experienced that firsthand. It's not fun, especially when it's part of your own family who despises you for existing, who you barely got to meet, if at all. It's like, it's something that splits up families and people, and they full well know it does that. And I think that's one of the saddest things is they know it does that, they just don't care. And that's one of the scariest things to me is they don't care if it splits up families. But it doesn't mean that you can't have good families. And I think that's one of the most important things I've been taught is to actually care about others and their feelings, to not just outwardly hate, and to actually try and understand problems. Like, while I may never fully understand like everyone's issues, I may not fully understand like how certain things work. I can at least have enough respect to try and learn at least. Because while I may not agree with everything, I still can be nice and be like, I accept it, but it doesn't mean it dictates how I exist. That's one of the most important things that I have found. Like, I left the Catholic faith a long time ago. I used to be Catholic. I know, crazy. But what I learned is that fucked me up a lot through a lot of religious trauma and things being burned into my skull as a young kid, like the Bible, which, whoo boy, that's a roller coaster of stuff looking at like different religious texts because I actually spent time to learn different religions. Like, I actually took classes on like the history of that stuff because I wanted to know more about it. I find it interesting learning about how different religions work, etc. But it's so interesting that the only like it was really interesting going through all of the stuff and like because I don't want to make things political, and it's sad that my own existence is political, and just talking about this type of stuff can be construed as political when it's just me taking an interest in how different religions work. Because in all reality, I find it really cool, like learning about how different religions work. Because I like being able to respect my peers of different religions. I like being able to learn about the things they enjoy. Like paganism is such a cool religion in its own way. Same for Islam and Judaism. Like they all have their benefits. They all have caveats as well. Like there are some religions that are like a lot more like, huh, interesting. While others are more like, this is something I might just take as like a good lesson of how to treat people type thing. Like something that was taught in Catholicism, it like as a golden rule is to treat others as you want to be treated. Basically, love thy neighbor as you want, and you will, and treat others as you want to be treated. It's like, boy, I wish people followed that one. it's also that thing of I look back at it and it really says a lot because it actually sucks because you look at the history of some of those religions and it's like I spent time learning from like priests and ministers too. Like I'm friends with quite a few. Like Monsignor Jack is a very nice older friend of mine. He's a family friend. Amazing guy. Wouldn't know it unless you talked to him. He's a priest who's asexual. He has a daughter. He adopted a daughter. Very nice lady. And it's like, he is such an interesting person. I don't even know if he's alive anymore. I haven't seen him in a long time. If he isn't alive, I hope his soul is at ease, but it's interesting learning like the different points of views of people who work as priests or ministers versus people who actually are just normally part of the faith as well. Because like my grandpa Joe, um, like and my grandma Shirley, they used to go to church every Sunday before my grandpa passed and nearing his end. But one of the most interesting things about it is my grandma was Protestant, and I never knew that for so long that my grandma Shirley was Protestant. Like, I never knew that. So I actually got to learn more about her, too, just from that. You ever been to church before? I will tell you, you're not missing much. In a lot of cases, you are not missing much. Like, in all reality, I think it's interesting to learn people's, like, more about people's, like, religions and values. I think it's an important thing to kind of learn that type of stuff and so you can understand people better. And because there's some really cool religions out there. Like, I've kind of fallen into Wicca myself, mainly because I find that stuff interesting. I'm someone who is more towards the natural side of this world in terms of stuff that I agree, like, more believe in, but I don't let it dictate, like, who I am and what I choose. I still try to be kind and respectful to everyone to the best of my abilities. And yeah, there are days where it is superbly difficult because you get one person who just either extremely annoying or come on, hit each other. Fight, fight, fight. Oh, thank God those guys are dead. But I think that's one of the most interesting things about learning like other like belief systems is you get to learn more about the people in those belief systems, the people who follow them, but also about like the history behind it. Because history affects a lot of things. Like Buddhism is one of is an example of an interesting history that just like it's such a specific but interesting history, but it also is very it's a lot more of a calmer religion compared to others that are more popular. Like, but it's still really cool to look at because you look at like the history behind it too. And one of the most interesting things about religions to me is almost every single religion mentions a great flood, which I find so interesting. Not every religion, almost every religion mentions some form of great flood. And I think it is such an interesting thing because there is a, like, not even, like, even outside a religion, There is mentions of a great flood in some places, but not many. So there is a good chance that there was a great flood of an area, like be it through the Mediterranean or after an ice age. We don't know. It it's doubtful that it was the full world, but the thought of there being a great flood that's been mentioned in multiple religions is so cool to me because we don't fully know where it comes from, but we do know that it is a more recurring thing in a lot of religions and like texts, which is so cool. Like because there are some things that if you put together with multiple like religions, etc., and history, like scientists have figured out the around the exact time Jesus would have been um born because it was said to have been during a solar eclipse basically. Jesus would have been born during the summer. But historically as well, oh my god, that is an enchanted bow and I am scared. But oh, it's a punch bow, thank god. But I think what's interesting is historically Christmas wasn't originally celebrated on the day we celebrate now. It was celebrated on a completely different day. It was only changed to the day we celebrate it now to overlap with the pagans. It was a way of control back then because yeah, being chased by 12 baby zombies. Ooh, that sucks. That really sucks. Baby zombies suck in this game. Whew. They are a very annoying mob. Though I will say though, like when you look at like some religious practices now, some of them look kind of crazy in their own regard. Like don't get me wrong, I find it cool, but some of it just feels kind of crazy. Like when you actually say it out loud, like I could give you an example of a religion without telling you what the religion is, and it would sound crazy. A bunch of older folk get around to eat the body and the blood of their god and sing about it. And and it may sound crazy to you until I mention that that's just Christianity. Yeah, it's crazy. Like when you actually say it out loud, it has a completely different sounding and feeling when you know what it is. Because and I find that to be one of the funniest things is like you can say that and people are like, "Oh my god, how barbaric," until you say that no, that's just Christianity. It's like, "Oh." And I find that to be one of the funniest things cuz I have oh my god. Oh my god. Fucking babies. Oh, shut up, you babies. I almost died to those. Jesus Christ. Like, there's so many interesting things, though, like, that when you actually talk about it and, like, learn to understand it, it becomes such an interesting thing to learn about. Like, most people would never fully understand something until they actually, like, you're never going to fully understand something till you actually go and learn about it. That's one of my biggest rules, is until I learn about it in some form, I try not to judge. while that is difficult, it's something important. Like, I'll judge sometimes beforehand if something really fucked up happens to me or like it really affects me. But otherwise, I try to remain as neutral as possible because until I've learned more, like with the whole AI stuff, I'm going to be honest, hate me or not for it, I actually tried it to see how I felt about it and if it was useful, but I've with my own experience as an artist and my experience with using it for a bit, I find it to be more hurtful to artists because I tried it and I found where it's good, where it's bad. Like, I think it could be useful as a tool to help artists, but with how it's been used by people to try and replace artists is dangerous and bad. Like, trying to remember that type of stuff is one of the most important, like, is such an important thing to me because if you don't know both sides, you can sometimes get forced into an extreme a lot easier. And that's something I have kind of been told and learned because something I've learned from my own experiences is a lot of people who fall into these extreme categories, a lot of it comes from hate and lack of understanding. And I think that's an important thing to put in your life is understanding and willingness to learn. No matter how old you are, no matter how young you are, you will always be learning. Even if you don't realize it, you are constantly learning new things. Whether you want to or not, learning is part of life, and whether you want to accept it or not is up to you. But if you don't accept it, it's kind of one of those things of without learning, you just stay in the past, and the past ain't gonna remember you too fondly, if it does remember you at all. Like, and that's kind of one of the things that's important to remember is we become the past in future. We will eventually become past. There won't be any of us left. It is up to you to decide how your story will be told and who will tell your story. And if you are a bitter and reserved person who, while yes, it's good to be reserved at times, being someone who's not willing to learn and grow, even in their old age, a lot of people won't remember you for being a thing. Kick the baby? Kick the baby! Ah! But I think one of the most important things is remembering that no matter what, you'll always learn, you'll always grow, and if you want to be remembered, you sometimes need to do something that you may not be comfortable with. And that is growing and learning even at older ages, and willing to be able to change. And God, can it be uncomfortable at times? That's one of the hardest things is learning to be able to let go, learning to be able to change, and learning to just be able to express yourself in a healthy way. Because it is so commonly nowadays used as such a dangerous thing to an extent where people will hate people of a group sheerly because of the amount of stuff that has happened. I have my own gripes with Christianity from my own experiences, but I don't let that affect how I feel about just Christians as a whole. I still accept people for who they are. I try to do my best at it. It's like, it doesn't matter your religion, it doesn't matter your views. No matter what, we're all still people. Even if you don't want to believe it all the time, we are all still human, And we all have feelings, emotions, we all die, we all live, we all have to pay taxes. Well, most of us. But no matter what, something that is always part of our lives is we always have life, death, and memory. Memories are one of the most important things. And it's why Alzheimer's and dementia are so dangerous, is because it robs us of one of the things that makes us people, our own memories and experiences. When you forget things, you start to lose those experiences and memories, and you lose who you are. And that's such a sad thing to think about, but it's also part of life that sometimes things won't always go the way you want it to. But it doesn't need to go the way you want it to. As long as you're able to make good and create some positivity, your life can be better. As long as you're willing to be a better person at times. And I think that's such an important lesson. Like, learning to just kind of stay into that moment of just calm, peace, and stuff similar is important. Like, I would not be here without the many people who have supported me in my life. Like, that's one of the things that is super important to me as a person because it reminds me of why I'm still here. There are people in my life that are the reasons I am still around. Like, and I am thankful to them. Not all of them are alive anymore, sadly. But one of the things that's important to remember is just those basic principles. Because if you can always count on yourself to do your best, it's hard to. I mean, yeah, you're gonna fail. And it's gonna suck. It really will. But without failure, there is no there is no succeeding without failure. And hell, without failure, it doesn't make the success feel as good in some cases. And you know what? That can be a good thing or a bad thing depending who you ask. But in my opinion, I think it's good because if we all just stick ourselves into a mold and never change, never fail, never learn from mistakes, six, then we don't really become better people. We don't learn how to treat others with respect. We don't learn how to be a better person. And I think that's an important thing to remember is, well, yes, it can suck. It's going to suck. You're still making more improvements than you may be realizing. And that's okay because while no one is perfect, you at least got this far. And you should be proud of yourself. Because even if someone doesn't mention it, I'm at least proud of you for making it this far. Because everyone deserves someone to be proud of them. I may not know all of you, but I don't know all of you personally, but I'm still proud of you for even being able to get out of bed in the morning at times. Because that can be a difficult thing too, especially for people with depression. I know from my own experience that, yeah, it can suck, but it's okay. And there's always someone rooting for you. even if you don't realize it. And never forget that. Someone's always rooting for you, even if you don't realize. And I think that's an important thing, is to have someone rooting for you. And yeah, I want the people in my life to do their best. Hell, I know something that's difficult for a lot of people with depression, especially, is basic hygiene. And I know that may sound gross to some people, but it's probably one of the hardest things at times, too, for some people, because when you have such bad depression, you don't think about that stuff. You barely have enough energy to even get up in the morning. But those small steps of being able to do something you have trouble doing that you know is good for you, and being able to accept that, yeah, while I'm having trouble doing this, at least I have gotten this far. Just know that I'm proud of you for being able to get that far. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. Because everyone deserves someone to be proud of them, including you. Okay, so 1, 2, 3, 4. Boop, 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 boop. There we go. I know one thing that I am really excited about. Um, that I really. One thing I do wish they added to this game that I know they're probably never going to add. I want them to add a woodcutter. It's a wood version of the stone cutter. That's all I want them to add. And you may be wondering, why a woodcutter? Stairs and everything else would be so much nicer. You know, I'm going to try something. I need birch, though. I need birch logs, specifically. But, yeah. I think a woodcutter would be really useful in this game. Having, like, a cutter just for wood as well, because we already have one for stone. A wood one would make a lot of sense. And being able to turn it into the different wood variants. Like, I think that would just be so much nicer. Like, you don't need to strip the bark off a log with an axe, or etc., etc. Like, I think that would be really cool. I think that would add a lot more to the game. That would just be a quality of life change. Another quality of life change I wish they had was the ability to specifically choose which trapdoors design you want for any of the wood types. And I know that may sound weird now, but hear me out. The ability to have more color variation on those trapdoors for all new types of, like, blocking abilities, new types of ways to just mix blocks. It could be so much better and so much more fun just with that ability alone. You get me? Because I think that could be really cool. So I'm going to test this here, and we'll see how it looks. Doop. Ah, fuck. Placed it wrong. And doop. Now, if I were to place it like this, it doesn't look as good, but if I were to strip it... Yep, I'm doing this. I'm changing out the staircases to birch. It's official. We're gonna have birch stairs. We're gonna have birch stairs, everybody! I know it may be a birch for you to hear, but oh boy, is it gonna be beautiful! Birch stairs, baby! And boop. Perfect. Ah, fudge. I honestly love birch in this game. I think it's a nice light block that adds a lot more to the game in its own little ways. I do wish we had more types of wood in some areas, but beggars can't be choosers. Sometimes you just need something like that. Big yawn. Okay. I know I want to get these bookshelves up. Okay, we're at max of 9 right now. Okay. I also want to get the blocks above this changed up too. Why am I using my fist? I have a shovel. Ah. But yeah, I think like changing up the blocks up here too would be very useful. Just for getting some nicer looks and stuff. Like, I might use shroob lights, perhaps? Perhaps I will use a shroob light. Mayhaps. Though I don't think I have any. I can always get some. Nether exists for a reason. I know I do enjoy just being able to chill, play Minecraft, and just have some fun. Because sometimes that's all you really need in life. Chill vibes, Minecraft, and just being able to just exist. I know that in a lot of cases, sometimes there are things that you just may not want to talk about or may not want to deal with, but I think the nice thing about chill vibes is you just get time to just chill out and just be ready to deal with some things like annoying boss at work or similar. Like, and I think that's one of the nicest things about like more chill streams. Like, especially for me, like there are times where I'm working on artwork and stuff in the background, just doing my thing, and I just need something chill. So I put on like some lo-fi beats or something similar. Just something to chill with. And I think that's a very useful thing to have. I know this is a later stream for me today too, but I don't mind it. Even though it's more like I started a lot later than I normally do, but meh. Sometimes it just be that way. I know one thing I've been working on is getting to affiliate in the background, and my average viewers is hit above 2 finally, but even then I don't expect that to last long before going down to like under 2, like to like 1 area, which honestly, well, the numbers don't really make me go cool as much. It is one of those things of like good to keep track of, especially as an early streamer, because well, yes, I have tips in my description, which don't want anyone to feel obliged that they have to like do. If I can get to affiliate, I can give cool emotes to people, and that's what I kind of want to do is cool emotes for people who like want to subscribe and stay around longer and just chill. I think that would be nice. Just kind of that ability to just chill with people and have subscribers and just know like yeah, people can use my emotes wherever they please. Cuz like I already can make some emote designs. I got that part covered. I could literally do a stream of emoting. Like, just a stream of, like, drawing the emotes. Because that's something I could totally do. I would draw them myself, most likely. Maybe one day I would commission someone better than me, which I know everyone is better than me in some form. And I don't care, because it's okay to not be the best. You don't need to be the best there ever was. To catch them is my real test. To train them is my cause. Pokemon, gotta catch 'em all. Sorry. Like, that is probably one of the most, like, iconic things. Apparently they wanted to change it, is what I heard. Or have changed it. And if so, like, let's say if they did, or have, I think that's one of the dumbest things because, like, gotta catch 'em all is such an iconic statement now. Like, well, yes, it's not as easy. It's like, it rolls off the tongue good. It, it just fits. And you can technically catch them all if you take the work. The issue is catching the mythicals because they're all event based. And of course, the ones I missed are the ones from X and Y and Zeraora and Marshadow. I missed X and Y and Sun and Moons. I need Marshadow, Zeraora, Hoopa, Diancie. And then I got them all. Pokemon. Because once I got all those mythicals, I have a full living Pokedex. Then I'm gonna work on a living form dex. Boha, 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 boha. I'm not that crazy. Or am I? I'm not doing a full shiny dex. Actually, that's not even possible. Because there are still some Pokemon you just can't get shiny anymore. I know my Latias is one of the examples of good luck getting another one of those. Like, I still have an Arceus, like, I have all these old Mon from back when I used to play a lot. And honestly, I don't mind it. But yeah, there's definitely some points where I'm just like, God, I really wish I had these. Like, there were definitely some that I missed that I wish I didn't miss. Because it just makes my life a lot harder. Now I remember, I needed blocks. Fun. Well, I can always bring more. Ouch. I know that, fuck. One moment. Sorry about that. Yeah, I know, like, there's some things I want to do. Like, one day I want to get a 3D avatar to just, like, so I can move around more and, like, because, like, I move around a lot while talking, like, in general, and I think it would be really cool just so you guys know how much I move my body when I talk. Like, just in general, I move my body back and forth a lot just while I talk. Like, hands moving, body moving, lips going everywhere. Just, I don't know. God, I'm so weird. But, like, I'm one of those people that when they talk, I am very expressive with how I move. Like, I am hands moving, etc. When I'm playing a game like this and talking, I still move my hands a bit. Not as much, but I still move them quite a bit because it's just a natural instinct for me to just start moving and grooving because, like, it's just something I do. And I know it might be a bit weird to some people, but like I move a lot, a lot. I move more than a lot of people in my life when I talk. And I don't know if that's like from D&D, but then again I've always done it before I even started D&D. So, it's just a weird thing I do, I guess. But like a lot like when people see me in person, that's where you notice it the most of how truly expressive I am as a person. Like with how I move my body, with how I move my just with just how I move in general. I just move a lot more. I'm a very animated person at times. There are some people who are way, way, way more animated than me, but it's still one of those things where I'm just still a very animated person. Like, I move a lot, and that could be from theater as well, because I used to do a lot of theater when I was younger. Um, I was part of the theater club, and I enjoyed it quite a bit, except for certain things. I could go on about how one of the theater directors I had a favoritism towards the tech students to such an extent where they got in trouble with the other theater teachers because they took money out to buy gifts for the tech people with no like mention and stuff, and it got the other teachers really pissed. Like I have never seen them that pissed before. Like I had some really interesting teachers too, like in high school. Like, and I think that's one of the nicest things is like I had a lot more nicer teachers in high school than I did in like middle school. And I know the main reasons for that, like in general, but even then, it was such a culture shock for me at the time. And I remember it because it's like so many more people. Then you got all these different like a lot nicer teachers. You get a bunch of other stuff too with it. It was like a culture shock because you're just going into this thing with so many cultures. I remember getting in trouble in high school because I didn't realize I was talking, like replying back. Like, because sometimes I'll be talking and I'll reply back to something, like in like a video or something. Like I just talked to myself, but um, yeah, I wasn't allowed to listen to true crime after that. That's all I'll say. It's like I was talking about stuff like, dude, why would you do that? And I was talking to myself into such a way that people were really confused, but I had to deal with the school counselor, which honestly just was more annoying than anything else. And it's like one of those things of I will say stuff to myself without realizing it either. Like I'll just talk to myself out loud, like in public, not even realizing it. And since I usually have a headphone in, because I listen to music, like I usually have an ear pod in, a lot of people think probably think I'm either crazy or talking to someone over my um, earbuds. So it's like, mm, either way, I still look crazy. Doesn't matter to me because I am kind of crazy in my own little ways. Who isn't a bit crazy in their own ways, though? Everyone has a little bit of crazy in them. Um, there's more tree. Gosh, this is such a clump of trees. Regret forming. The constant regret of oak tree. But yeah, this is a lot of oak trees, and thankfully, I'll be getting everything I need. Ooh, this is gonna be a big climb. Fun! Okay, so mining. Yeah, this is one of the difficult parts about mining all these oak trees. Like, I actually used to, like, when I'd do, like, survival with my friends, like, we'd set up, like, shopping districts and stuff, And I usually was the one to sell wood because I and like more grinding materials because that's the stuff I enjoy to do. I love grinding for materials. Like that's just something I just enjoy. I know not everyone enjoys it, but I enjoy it a lot. So when a game has grinding, I'm like, ooh, fancy. When in reality, in reality, it's like there's some games I just won't grind out, like League of Legends. I'm never gonna play. I just don't like it. I've seen like videos and stuff of it, and it's just it doesn't interest me. Like there are some games that interest me, like if it has good music, if it has good story, from what I hear, like stuff like that will get me to play a game. Like God of War. Like it's why I prefer the newest God of Wars to the older ones is because the story. I don't care if the original creator of God of War doesn't like it because oh, Kratos was these characters are supposed to remain stagnant. It's like, but that's boring. Honestly, I wouldn't be surprised if he was like salty that giving Kratos an actual personality past rage got him annoyed, and he just got salty about it because it did better than his own game. Because he left the project after the first game, and it's like, dude, you gave up all rights to that as soon as you left. Like, you were allowed to come back for so long. But it's honestly why I like games with more characteristics for characters because it's more realistic and it just something about it really resonates with me. Like a good story. That's why I love story games. That's why I like RPGs because a lot of them have good story. Puzzle games are fun because I like a good puzzle. Like a good puzzle here and there. A nice puzzle can really make or break an experience, in my opinion. Gosh, all this foliage. Um, Yay. This is gonna be annoying to deal with, but meh. Sometimes you just gotta deal with it. And keep mining. And boom. Boom. I'm making sure there's nothing in here. See? Always something. Oh boy. Lots of oak trees today. I mean, I do need the charcoal anyway, so that's a good thing. I'm at least getting something I need a lot of. Doesn't make it any less, like, grindy. Plus, I also get a lot better view. And once it's all, like, cleared out, like, of the leaves, I'll be able to tell where, like, excess logs are and stuff, and I'll be able to, like, get rid of them and clear out this area into a more flat surface. And you'll see why I want it to be a flat surface. Like, I'm one of those people that, like, if their tools break, like, if it's a shovel, like, or an axe, I usually don't care. But since we're on a stream, I don't want people to get, like, extremely bored out and just, oh no. Because, let's be honest, most people don't want to watch me do that. Ooh, nice Minecraft music. I love the Minecraft music. It's one of those nice music packs. I know, I still haven't played God of War Ragnarok. I know I've been meaning to, I just haven't gotten the game or played it yet. It's one of those games I wouldn't play on stream mainly because it's a more personal game for me that I just like to play by myself. My sister will watch me sometimes, but that's one of the few things I don't mind. The only reason I don't play it on stream is because, yeah, I just enjoy playing it myself. I know, setting my stream to 18 plus is its own thing, too. I've thought about moving to more 18 plus themes, but honestly, that just kind of goes away from who I am. Like, I'm not someone who will talk about that stuff all the time, and it's not so often that I, like, it's worth it. At least in my opinion. But, beggars can't be choosers. Sometimes people might think otherwise. Oh, tree here. All this wood. It is nice though to just kind of hear the music in the background. It's so beautiful. Like, damn. Yeah, I need to destroy all the tree trunks, and it's so hard to find them. This music sounds really familiar from outside of Minecraft, and I don't know why. But it's really beautiful. Beautiful music. Damn. I'm still chopping down logs. And boom. Just going around collecting what's left. The fact that this has taken multiple in-game days says something about how much there truly is. Jeez. Yep. And grab all this. There we go. One moment. Do you want to download the latest version of the Twitch app? No. Not while I'm in a stream, because then it becomes annoying. 1, 2, 3. Shovels. Because I am going to be doing a lot of terraforming. It's a nice day, at least. Okay, so I can kind of see where some of the wood might be left over. So I kind of got, like, a clue. Yep. Sometimes all you gotta do is just do a little exploring with it. Let's see. Okay. Any more? I think that might be it. I don't know for sure. Just gotta hope. Definitely one up here. Oh, it's right there. Let's see if there's any more. I'll just kind of do a little search. Um, Seeing that it's decaying, though, I think, yeah, it is gone. Thankfully. Aw, oh, bollocks. Anyways. Yeah. So then we have the last bits. Is this still not decaying? The work I do for these trees. Hopefully it will start to despawn more leaves and I'll be able to, yeah. I'm gonna go up through here. And hopefully I'll be able to find the last logs. Yep. Here's one. And another. I think this side is clean. There's this one. And I will remove my logs and we'll see how that goes. Of course, I still should check down here too. Yeah, it's decaying. Good. Watching it slowly decay is so satisfying sometimes. This part here isn't decaying fully. At least doesn't look like it. It's hard to tell. Yep, it isn't. I was right. Yay me. Okay, time to flatten this area out now. Because I want to make a tree farm. And it's going to require a lot of work. Doopa doopa doopa. It's going to be a long day of this. But I don't mind. I'm used to worse. Just gotta wait for that. I think my plan is to kind of mine all this out, then I'll put the dirt in after. I missed a decay thing over here. Almost definitely. And there it is. There's the little bugger. Frick. Yeah, it's been one hell of a frickin' week. Lack of sleep, etc. does not help. Yeah, I'm one of those people who just has trouble sleeping some nights. I have too much of certain medications. Because, like, I had to take, like, a sleeping medication for a while. And I still have so much extra. It's like, I'm never gonna take this again. Like, ah. It's just annoying when you have extra medication after, like, you've been removed from it. And it's just like, have you ever had that moment? Because there are times where it's just like you have it. Most of the time you don't, but the rare times that you do, it's just like, fuck. So annoying. Okay. I told you guys, get out of here. I'll let the rest decay. Thankfully, it is almost gone. I know, allergies suck around this time of year because like the closer it gets to spring, the worse my allergies are gonna get, and you'll notice it on stream especially because I'll sound probably a lot more stuffy at times. I will probably be a lot more stuffy just in general, and yeah, fun. Yeah, fun stuff like that. Just gonna gotta get rid of these after all. If I'm gonna use them, I might as well use them right. Doopa doo doopa doo doopa doopa doop. That's how little I care right now. Time to flatten this now. A very tiringly long and arduous process. I've done worse. I've terraformed an entire island before, so could be worse. From my own experience, it really could be. Like, sometimes it's just like, why? Why did I make this choice? And other times it's just like, well, okay. Just depends how I'm feeling. Though it's still fun for me. I've always liked terraforming. At least in Minecraft. Doop, dip, doop, dip, doop, dip, doop, dip. The edge. There we go. Doot, 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 doot. Ba, 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 ba. I honestly like this. It's one of the things I enjoy. Just the sound of dirt breaking is so satisfying. At least to me it is. We're gonna go through a lot of shovels though, but you win some, you lose some. Thankfully though, it's not too bad. I mean, with the amount of shovels I could have gone through with the one I did for another server, like I created a whole custom island. I went through my netherite shovel like 7 times before it, like with it almost breaking. And that was just to flatten out all the dirt and like gravel sections. And then for the stone parts, I went through my pickaxe quite a few times as well. Both of them. Both my Silk Touch and my Fortune. Because I always carry both. Because why not? Plus then you can get a good amount of stone and cobble. Which was something I needed both of anyway for stuff, so. We had a lot of, what's it called? chests. That's what they're called. My God, boy, couldn't think of chests. Just full of like stuff we got because it was a server and stuff, and we had a data pack that allowed you to get mob heads and stuff. Like we had multiple mob heads. We had like so many double chests of dirt, gravel, flint, sand, stone, diorite, granite, andesite. And it wasn't even a big island either. It just took a long frickin' time. The crazy part is it was the perfect size island too for me, for my project. Which I never got to finish because the server shut down. Which sucked. But, lo and behold, sometimes it happens. The reason we had to even shut down the server is because the world file got corrupted. Was to an extent that a lot of my builds got like screwed up. It really sucked. Because I was really sad about it because it corrupted so badly that like it was not even worth saving or like trying to fix because you just couldn't. Spawn was fucked up, everything else was fucked up, it just sucked. But that's the way it goes sometimes. I know that, yeah, recently I haven't had as much time to stream as I'd like. Mainly due to a bunch of things. Today it was mainly because I woke up late. Which is rare, but it also shows that for once I actually got sleep, which is something I've needed for a long time. It's nice when you get sleep. I know, while I haven't been sleeping the best, it's nice to at least get it. Because there are just some times when you just don't get it. I know, like, my stream schedule is a little different than others. Like, I stream every day except Saturdays, Sundays, and Tuesdays. But it's like, there are some times where something just happens, or I have an appointment or something where I just can't stream because I have stuff. Like yesterday, I had my doctor's appointment, which went well, thankfully. But it is how it is. Lots of things, lots of things. I know, like with other stuff, like, gosh, there's a lot of cool things that I did find yesterday while going to the doctor. Like, I saw some cool cars. Depends if you find it cool. Like, it was like an old car show that was going on, and I'm like, ooh, fun. At least I think it was. Might not have been. Might have been a thing with some other people, but even then it was still cool to see. Like, when I was passing by. Some really cool stuff there. Wish I had the time to like stop there and like look at some of the stuff because it was pretty cool. I know there's some things I really enjoy about it because it was like really interesting. I know for me it's back and forth, but it's nice. Yay, flattening. I'm gonna at least try to flatten out this section before we end stream because I'm gonna have to go soon anyway. Yay, having responsibilities. Ugh. But that is life. Imagine having a responsibility. Oh my god. Sometimes there's some really annoying responsibilities you get. Like, yes, you must do insert thing or insert other thing. Like, it's there are some annoying ones. I don't know what's the most annoying ones for you guys, but taxes is annoying. Taxes are really annoying. Another one that gets really annoying is just some of the basic tasks that I gotta do, like trying to keep a house clean when you have three dogs is one of the most annoyingly difficult things because no matter how much you clean, you will find their fur somewhere, especially during shedding season. And even then, they always mess stuff up, and it annoys me so much. I'll spend multiple hours cleaning up their toys and stuff and like making it all nice, cleaning up, and then it's and then they come in, furs everywhere. They take the toys out and there's only one dog who actually puts their freaking stuff back usually, and it's Dewey, who actually will sometimes put the toys back in the freaking box, and I find that so funny, but also very nice, especially for my sanity. Like, thank you, Dewey. You're the godsend I wish I had long ago. But of course, then you got Athena, who is some days more relaxed and other days full of shit and vinegar. Because, holy crap, where did the energy come from? Like, her energy is. Wow. I think that's the best way to explain it is wow. Like, it drains my energy. But sometimes it be that way. Can I sleep yet or no? No. Damn. How's this going for the wood? Good. And now I'm starting to have an overflow. Perfect. But I think that's where I'm going to end off the stream for now. Mainly because I got things I needs to do. Big stretch. But I'll be seeing you guys later. I do hope you all have wonderful days. And I'll be seeing you next time. Bye bye!